Africa, arts, wildlife, beauty, our home, pride, and joy. Tell it, home of African stories. We dive into the shocking world of AI to uncover the ugliest racism built into its algorithm against Africans. Racism in AI systems is a growing concern that deserves our urgent attention. It's a harsh reality that affects the African community in ways that are often overlooked, and it's time we shed light on this critical issue. AI technologies have exhibited disturbing bias, often perpetuating discrimination and misinformation against Africans. One of the most notable examples is facial recognition systems, which have been shown to have a higher error rate when identifying people of color, particularly women with darker skin tones. This inherent bias has led to numerous instances of misidentification, putting innocent lives at risk. For instance, in the US, an African American man was wrongfully arrested due to a false facial recognition match. This is just one of the many examples of how AI has failed Africans. Another example is language processing AI, which has been found to generate more negative sentiments when referring to African compared to white people. This bias is particularly concerning as it can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and reinforce existing prejudices. Moreover, AI-powered resume screening tools have been shown to discriminate against African names and those with African-sounding names, reducing their chances of getting hired. This bias is not limited to the US, it is prevalent globally, affecting people from various African countries and communities. We also see bias in AI-powered healthcare systems, which often prioritize white patients over Africans. For instance, one study found out that an AI-powered healthcare tool predicted that Black patients were less likely to have cardiovascular disease, despite these patients having the same symptoms as white patients. These bias can have devastating consequences, leading to delayed diagnosis and ineffective treatments for African patients. The development of AI has historically been dominated by white males, leading to the perpetuation of bias and stereotypes. Datasets used to train AI algorithms are often limited, reflecting the demographics of the developers. This lack of diversity has resulted in AI systems that fail to understand and accommodate African cultures and experiences. For example, AI-powered image recognition systems have been trained on datasets that predominantly feature white faces, leading to poor performance when recognizing African faces. This has resulted in numerous instances of misidentification, with African faces being misclassified or not recognized at all. Joy Bulamwini, a Ghanaian American computer scientist, in a TED Talk shared how AI-powered cameras couldn't recognize her face due to her darker skin tone.
What about my face? Well, I've got a mask. Can you see my mask?
So how did this happen? Why am I sitting in front of a computer in a white mask trying to be detected by a cheap webcam? Well, when I'm not fighting the coded gaze as a poet of code, I'm a graduate student at the MIT Media Lab. And there I have the opportunity to work on all sorts of whimsical projects, including the Aspire Mirror, a project I did so I could project digital masks onto my reflection. So in the morning, if I wanted to feel powerful, I could put on a lion. If I wanted to be uplifted, I might have a quote. So I used generic facial recognition software to build the system, but found that it was really hard to test it unless if I wore a white mask. Unfortunately, I've run into this issue before. When I was an undergraduate at Georgia Tech studying computer science, I used to work on social robots, and one of my tasks was to get a robot to play peekaboo, a simple turn-taking game where partners cover their face and then uncover it saying peekaboo. The problem is peekaboo doesn't really work if I can't see you, and my robot couldn't see me. But I borrowed my roommate's face to get the project done, submitted the assignment, and figured, you know what, somebody else will solve this problem. Not too long after, I was in Hong Kong for an entrepreneurship competition. The organizers decided to take participants on a tour of local startups. One of the startups had a social robot, and they decided to do a demo. The demo worked on everybody until it got to me, and you can probably guess it. It couldn't detect my face.
To combat AI racism, it's essential that we raise awareness and push for change in AI development. We must demand transparency, accountability, and diversity in the development of AI systems, ensuring that they serve everyone regardless of race or ethnicity. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe button, and notification bell.